So I decided to start season 2 of my album reviews with an artist that I've been wanting to get into for such a long time, but yet never knew where to start until now. So today we will be reviewing Tyler, the Creator's newest album, Chromakopia, and like I said previously, I have never sat down fully and listened to one of his albums. I've heard a couple songs here and there, like the basic hits and all that stuff. I just never knew where to start. I felt really intimidated trying to get into the catalog, so I figured, why not just dive right into the newest album, so that way I'm getting the same exact listen as everyone else. And after my first listen, honestly, it was not bad. It was pretty good. There were some songs I could care less for, but that's just a personal thing. It did jump around a lot in, like, the mood of the album here and there for me, but that's just a personal thing as well. So, overall, pretty solid. And now we are going to do the track by track, which, if you do not know, it is where I just do like a basic overview of each of the individual tracks, just to show my appreciation for them, instead of just lumping a few in here and there. So we're starting off with Saint Chroma, which was the track that was just dropped randomly that, just pretty much introduced us to a new album. It was pretty much that, and then all of a sudden, oh, new album here, cool. And it's a great opener for the album. It started off really mellow feeling, but yet so energetic, had a good build-up, and I love the break in the beat, and I think it did its point. It delivered. And then right after that, it goes into the crazy-ass track called Ra-Ta-Ta. Honestly, again, such a great track, energetic beat, and the vocals are yet so simple, yet are delivered so well, and I love how the doubling on the vocals doesn't feel like it's overpowering the main vocals of it, and kind of added as like a little flavor on it. Now, is this one I would personally pick from it? No, but I could see this being like a great like mosh pit song at a concert. Like, genuinely. It sounds stupid to say that, but that's how I feel about it. And one thing I do like is how it transitions into the next track, which is called Noid. And this one, I love the sound of it, and I found out it samples a song, I'm hoping I'm going to say this right, from the band, the Ngozi family, which are a Zambian rock band. I do like a bit of Zambian rock albums myself. I've been trying to grab a few, but yet they're just kind of a pain to grab. The vocals are just so well mixed into this. They complement the instrumental so well, which is crazy because it has like this hard rock feel on the guitars in it. I wish the guitars lasted longer, honestly, because they're pretty much, the guitars kind of die out for the second half of it, which seems a lot more of like a basic like rap track and all that stuff, just from my perspective. But overall, pretty damn good. I'm not going to complain about it. I could really see this one being crazy live with a band. Now we got the track Darling I, which really feels like a summer track, yet it was released in October, which I think is pretty crazy, because to have that kind of feeling in a track that released in the fall, that's wild. It could have been made in the summertime, you never know. Another one, the vocals fit really well within the instrumental. It's just very laid back and relaxing. It's not too heavy or too crazy. One thing I did notice is the clapping or the snare was just a bit higher than the rest of the drums for my personal liking, but yet again, that could have been the headphones I was using. Now we got the song Hey Jane, and I love the bare bones feeling of it, which sounds weird because the next one's going to be kind of the same way, in a different way. But this one, it's very mellow feeling within the instrumental, but yet it fills out everything so well. Nothing really feels like it's like empty or missing or whatever you want to call it. And the vocals pretty much sit right up front for this. They don't really sit further back within this. They're kind of just up front, but yet they feel so soft in a way. Like, they don't feel like they're like right up in your face. They still feel like they're further back, even though being front and present within the track. I Killed You is the next track, and like with the track Hey Jane, it really feels kind of minimalistic, but yet in a really great way, and also in a dark way. This one I will specifically talk about in the instrumental, because the instrumental really stood out to me. I love what I'm guessing is an acoustic guitar. I don't know if it's that instrument specifically, or if it's another stringed instrument, but that's what it sounded like, an acoustic guitar. And the percussion, I'm guessing, from what I could hear, it's either a bongo or like one of those big solo drums, or it's a cajon, which is like, it's like a big box drum, where it's like you sit on it, you smack it. You've seen them before. I have one over there. I can't pull it out right now. If I remember, I'll put it up on screen right here for you. But that's kind of what it feels like, because it doesn't feel like the drums are really so live for it to be a full kit, and it doesn't feel like it's fully a like sampled sound. It could be a sampled sound from someone playing that instrument live, or it could be someone playing that instrument live for the recording. I don't know, but it sounded really good. Judge Judy is up next, and this is another one where I love the instrumental. The very relaxed feeling of it. It feels like you're on like a beach in Hawaii, basically. That's kind of the feeling I get from it, and it's odd. This just isn't one that I would put on regularly, because I feel it drags on just a tiny bit too long, which isn't a bad thing in some ways, but I feel like it could have been maybe 30-40 seconds just a bit shorter. But that's just me. Sticky is one that a lot of people are calling the best track, and like the best hyped sounding track. Now, I can't deny that it's like a very energetic track, and it feels really powerful. It just isn't one for me. I just didn't like it. Take Your Mask Off is another laid back one, which I think we need after the track Sticky, because that was just so energetic feeling, that this one's just a good one to take a breather on. Nothing really special for me. It did sound pretty good. I did enjoy it. Just wasn't one that I would fully remember. Tomorrow is the next track after this, and has such a sad feeling throughout it, but yet it is so good. It's very odd, but especially with the guitar on it, and just how it was just driven like that. Tomorrow is the next track on here, and it has a kind of a sad feeling through it, but yet also it is such a powerful song, like feeling-wise. Tomorrow is the next track on this album, and honestly it is kind of a sad feeling, but yet also kind of like a good feeling in a way. It's very odd. Like it feels like kind of a mixed thing, but more leaning towards the sad end of it. But overall, I love the guitar on it. That is one thing. The guitar work throughout this whole album is great. And the singing on this album is amazing for what it was, and it worked for the track. Nothing was too crazy, nothing lacked anything. It's like, pretty much, it knew what it needed and delivered it. Next is the track Thought I Was Dead, which is one of the more hype ones on the album, and this is one I can get behind. The instrumental is what I would call semi-simple, yet delivers such a good kick with it, and the vocals also complement the track insanely well. This next track, called Like Him, has had everyone blown away because of the message behind it, which I won't get into because hundreds of other people have already done that know far more than I do, since I'm going into this pretty much blind. But I'm going to talk about the track itself. It is the best track on this album, hands down. I cannot think of any other track that comes near this one. The singing on this is amazing. The instrumental, from the piano to the drums, it is just so powerful, and it's just so, like, you can feel what I would, like, the passion of the music. You can feel the soul and the power behind it driving the song. The next track, Balloon, is pretty silly. A lot of people have already mentioned this too. Like, it just, to follow up Like Him, and you have this just kind of silly sounding song. At the ballsy move, but you know what? It was a good move. It's a solid, happy feeling track. It's very energetic. The instrumental, which is what I would call bouncy. Like, it feels like it just kind of bounces everywhere. And I love it. And the vocals from both Tyler and I think the feature is Doechii. I didn't really mention any of the features on this, but I don't know, her vocals on this also were done really well. The last track on this album is I Hope You Find Your Way Home, and I think this is the best track to send it all home. It is not super crazy, it is not super soft, it's a great blend and really just drives it home. It just feels like a great finale. Now we get to the part of the episode where we get to score it, and this first part is the ear repeal score, which I dubbed probably a year and a half ago, about last August. What that does is I score the overall production of it and the replayability of the album for me. For Chromakopia, the production, I will say, is spectacular. Great job on that. I cannot deny that at all. And especially for this being my first Tyler, the Creator album listen, like, I was blown away. I'm going to say that 100%. I was blown away. Very few times I had any concerns, if any, about the mixing of it. Like the snare on the one, but that could be driven to just headphones. Everything else mixed so well. Vocal production was amazing. The instrumental production and choice was spectacular. I'm going to say that 100%. I could see this album being within my rotation, I'd say, for the next couple months. And so for that, I will give this a 7 out of 10, which you might think is a bad thing, but I that's a good thing. There are only 2 albums that are 10 out of 10s. And I'm going to say that again here, just because, yeah, you might be new to this might be your first album review for me, but a 7 out of 10 is good. I rarely give albums 10 out of 10s. The only 2 that have them are David Bowie's The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and Susan Christie's Paint a Lady, which those are both, like, flawless albums. This one, like, for what it is solid. 7 out of 10 is good. It's in my rotation, done well, all that. And the overall score now is an 8 out of 10. The extra point goes to just how I feel, like the vibe of it, the enjoyment I had listening to it, and also the cover art. I want to bring the cover art back into this because I kind of started like pushing away from that in some cases, but the cover art is an important part of the album. It's like judging a book by its cover. It's like that's your first impression of an album. The cover looks so creepy yet so cool. So the overall score for the album is an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you everyone for tuning in to the album review. This was definitely a new experience for me. I will say that 100%. The next one, I'm going to say this 100% because I'm listening to it right now, is House of Crazy's 31. That is going to be the next one. Then there's a new Bones one I have to listen to. I think it's called Cadaver. And then we're just going to little pick and choose here and there. We're going to see what comes next. Maybe I might review the David Gilmour one. Maybe I might review one that comes out Record Store Day. I don't know. It'll pretty much be up in the air from that. If you guys have any suggestions for what albums I should review that have either come out in the past month or 2 or are set to come out within the next couple months, let me know and I will be on the lookout for them, because I really want to get more engagement with you guys, with the crowd, with the fans, with whatever you guys want to call yourselves. I just don't want to pick albums that I like personally and throw them out there, even though I like doing that. I want you guys to see some albums that you enjoy, and you want to see my thoughts on them. Because I'm always trying to find new albums. I was going to review some other pop ones, but I just didn't have the energy to do them at that point. But for this new season, we're going to go back into this with full energy. I want to hear what you guys want me to review. And if you like this album review, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Do whatever, guys. See you in the next one.